Hello, everyone, and I'm glad to be here tonight to talk about exporting. So let's start first by defining the term exporting. I'm sure many of you, as small and medium enterprises, are looking into getting into exporting at some point in time. But before we talk about what it takes to get into that, let's talk about what does it mean to export. Of course, exporting is derived from the conceptual meaning of goods and services shipped out of the port of a country. That's the direct definition, if you want. That's the dictionary definition. And the seller of such goods and services is referred to as an exporter, of course. So, but exporting has a very substantial impact on any economy because whenever we're exporting goods out of the country, that is increasing the manufacturing of goods, that is increasing the demand, out of the country. But we have to be very careful because we have to have a balance between what we are exporting and what we are importing, so we don't get into any deficit. Some countries, they import more than they export, and this puts them into deficit because there might not be enough market for the goods they are importing. So it's very important to be careful about that and to have a balance of trade when we do any type of commercial activity. There are two types of exports. One is called physical export. So we are shipping goods out of the country physically. And one is called deemed export. This is in case the goods and services are supplied to another entity. So we're doing a direct physical export, or we are using a third party supplying it to another entity to be exported or to be promoted outside the country. Ways to export: we can either do a direct selling, an export strategy. So we involve sales representatives in this case. We involve distributors located outside of the exporter's home country. And in this case, we are exporting goods and services to be sold to an independent party outside of the exporter's home country. But then we get into what we call direct selling through distributors. So we are not selling directly ourselves. We are using a distributor in a foreign country who's the merchant, who's going to purchase the product and then distribute them and sell them to that country. Of course, these distributors will need to keep a stock inventory of the services or the products that they are going to be able to distribute at a later time. And then, of course, we have a third type, which is direct selling through foreign retailers and end users. And here we are selling directly to foreign retailers or directly to the end users. And of course, in this case, the products are often limited to consumer lines. So regardless of which type of exporting you wish to get into, there are preparations that need to happen. And this is what we will address during this session. To start, let's talk about one case study that is close to home, Khalifa Port, which is one of the largest ports in the region, and it facilitates shipping and moving of goods in many countries. So the creation of Khalifa Port is creating more than 100,000 new jobs. So exporting has benefits, direct benefits to the economy, of course, when it is allowing people to promote and sell their products outside of the country. But it's indirectly also it's creating jobs because you're going to need people to manage the ports, to manage the shipping, and etc. And Khalifa Port is one of these examples because by 2030, it's estimated to contribute over 15% of the Emirates' GDP. Khalifa Port is designed with a 16-meter draft and a 4-kilometer quarry wall, and it features the latest technologies and serves the largest container ships currently afloat. And it's one of the largest ports, as I said, in the region. To look at some facts from the Department of Economic Development, we know that economic diversification is an important pillar of the Economic Vision 2030 for Abu Dhabi. And one of the drivers for achieving diversification is trade. So Again, the trade sector in Abu Dhabi contributes close to 70% of its GDP. So there are lots of facilitation in Abu Dhabi and in the Emirates in general to allow and to help people and to support people in trade. And also Dubai has the largest re-export hub in the world, because Dubai, again, is a center for many countries to move its goods through Dubai. And it's catering to over 6,400 companies in its free zone. So they can benefit from the free zone advantages and rules and regulations.